Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Thursday, November 10th, 2016. In both the Lynn life and the Jamie body mind, the authorized souls continue to be only child souls from denser levels, and yet lighter soul levels, And in a way, any kind of consistency is soothing because we know what to expect. And there is such a consistency of a disregard of the rules from levels lighter and larger than the level in which these host lives are experiencing sentience, that in a way it's comforting because it doesn't seem to matter what we say with regard to the authorized souls. Presences feel free to come in as they wish. And they basically say, might makes right, you can't stop us, ha ha ha.
That's true.
Look up, look up, look up. We're all held accountable. That day of accounting is coming. It's coming. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it isn't going to come. This baby is going to be born, to quote someone, a teacher of many years ago. We continue to work with the foundational assignment, which is to do what is ours to do right now in all dimensions, to manifest the divine plan, the data very clearly continuing to show that nothing matters more than survival of the truth, and that until someone else starts holding search for truth space better, we can do it. With that, the formally videoed portions of today's efforts begin.
Separating the 1% most true from the 99% least true, and right away burning the 99% least true to power the children who are racing for God.
It does still work. That does get some of these jerks to step back and stop blocking the way. It's like, oh, geez, I am blocking children in the race for God. I don't want to be that guy. It does at least get those people to step back. Let's do it again.
Separating the 1% most true from 99% least true,
right away burning the 99% least true to power the children in the race for God. The dead children. The dead children. These are dead children. Stand back. Stand back. Make way. Make way. Make way. Dead children coming through, trying to get to God. Make way. Dead children coming through, trying to get to God. Pump up the backs of all who need to move on in life, who are stuck, and just need that little push to move forward. All of us who want to help dead children get to God, to the search for truth central axis. All others flung away. And what do I know? And they're pointing to what it looks like, what we were being shown earlier today and yesterday, what it looks like to the average person of sentience who dies, who is transitioning from one dimension and is supposed to go to lighter dimensions. And they're supposed to go check in. And they hit just this gray mass, and many of them get confused and think they're going the wrong way.
That's true.
And almost all of them either turn around at that point, or they look around in the gray, and there's some faker who's got a check-in stand set up who says, oh yes, you're at the gates of heaven, come here, check in here.
That's right.
And they stop. Everybody stops or turns around. Everybody stops at that very first level or turns around right away. Nobody is getting through.
That's true.
All of us who really want to help dead
children get to God,
to the search for truth central axis. All of this flung away. Live streaming up higher, higher, higher to those amateur videographers way up high. Can you guys see this? That the dead people can't get to God. The people who want to get to God aren't. They don't know enough. They're not skilled enough to make it through the thicket of confusion and lies.
That's true.
What now? What now in order to manifest the divine plan, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do? Clearly for now, we keep pumping from beneath this dimension, whatever we label this dimension as, and we've been calling it ground zero for a long time, so we can continue to call it that.
Oh, that's true.
saying to the children, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, straight up the search for truth's central axis. Just keep going through the clouds, through the bands of light and dark, through all the stoppers. They can't actually stopper you out, and they're not trying to stopper you as an individual. They're just trying to keep bad smells from entering their space, by and large. By and large, they aren't people you would think of as bad.
That's true.
They just have some combination of laziness and confusion and cowardice,
selfishness
and egotism,
and wishful thinking,
right, and low standards.
That's true.
So don't let that stop you, because who wants to get to God? And what that means is a consistent source of significantly higher vibration. And so we can pump up all who really want to get to a consistent source of significantly higher vibration. But we have to mix up the terminology, and that terminology isn't working right now. So we can call it God. That gets people's attention who are blocking the way.
Yes, that's true.
When we say, hey, you're blocking the way from... You're in the path. You're standing in front of dead children who are trying to get to God.
Oh.
That's right.
That's
then
true.
they can hear it. And that is what you're doing. That is what you're doing, you people up there. You're standing in the path of dead children who are trying to get to God. Do you really want that on your karmic record? Whew, that clears it.
That's true.
Now we can pump up the dead children themselves, through us, not to us, higher, 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 and say to them, you're going to have to put your own oomph into it, because we can only pump you up so high, and then you'll start to fall down. And when you start to fall down, as you inevitably do, get off at that level, tell the presences around you what's happened, that you're dead, that you're a child, that you're trying to get to God.
That's true.
And ask them to go up with you. And whether or not they go up with you, because most won't, whether or not they go up with you, just keep going straight up the search for truth central axis. And when you hit a stopper, as you inevitably will, just go between the particles. They can't keep you out. They can't keep you out. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And you'll get there. The only way to fail is to quit.
That's true.
And correcting errors of presences in larger levels who maybe don't actually want it on their karmic record that they're blocking dead children from getting to God, and they can see that they were making mistakes.
That's true.
And so we can help them correct those errors. All of us who have made the error at any point in time of blocking dead children from getting to God, and that pretty much that includes everybody who's been doing multidimensional work. That includes everybody who's ever put closed a portal so that dark entities stay away.
That's true.
It includes all of us who are working in those realms.
That's true. Oh, there's a shift in the back.
Hillary and Al Gore could join forces and make a movement to eliminate the Electoral College.
That's actually true.
Yeah.
That's true.
It wouldn't work, because the power elite wants to keep the Electoral College. That makes it ever so much easier to steal elections.
That's true. But they might feel better about having done that.
They would feel a lot better.
Yeah.
That would be what they themselves could do.
That's true.
And what do I think? I think actually in this case that the election wasn't really stolen. I think that really a revolting number of people voted for a hate agenda.
That's true.
And that's what they want, and
that's the actual ugly truth.
That's the actual ugly truth, and I don't have to like it for it to still be true.
No.
People voted for a hate agenda.
They did it on purpose.
They did it intentionally, and slightly less than 50% of them did it.
That's true.
But wow, that's compelling. And because the system is rigged the way it is to be easily manipulated, then that resulted in the hate agenda now advancing.
That's true.
To legally hold power.
That's true.
Now we get to see what happens. It'll be an exciting adventure.
That's true. Up the backs of all of us who need to move forward. Whoa. Dead children who want to get to God. Up the backs of all of us who are ready to move forward. Who are ready to move forward.
Who are ready to move forward. Why waste it on those who aren't ready?
That's true.
Let's just run this up the backs of all who are ready to move forward. Dead children who want to get to God. Pumping them up the backs of all who are ready to move forward. And what else do I notice? That it isn't just the people who voted for the hate agenda. It's all the people who didn't vote.
That's
the people who would not have voted for the hate agenda would have voted some other way.
That's true.
And who didn't vote. They just didn't get off the couch and go do what only they can do for themselves. So many people, shocking numbers of people didn't vote.
That's true.
And why is that? Well, why don't you ask them? But it seems in large part that people have a fantasy that this doesn't have anything to do with me, quote unquote.
I won't be affected.
Well, this doesn't have anything to do with me. I'm not participating in that.
That's true. I'm not participating.
But if we're living in North America, we are participating in it.
That's true.
We're just doing it either mindfully or unmindfully, with helpful intent or with selfish intent, etc. All the combinations of ways of being that sentiences have.
That's true.
We're here, and so those people who didn't vote, shame on you.
It's true. Literally.
Yeah, shame on you. And now we'll all get to share in this collective experiment.
That's true.
So friends, in times like this, when we're facing the end times of life as we know it, and you don't have to, I know that a lot of you guys are saying right now, oh my gosh, how overly dramatic, but friends, time will tell. Time will tell. Things are getting ready to change.
That is true.
How strongly they're getting ready to change, I don't know. But I'm positive they're getting ready to change, and not for the better.
That is true.
And then in times like that, it's important to look for the gifts. It actually is. And only you can do that for you. To remember, look for the gifts. They're always there in every situation. It doesn't matter how difficult the situation is. Actually, the more difficult the situation is, the more crucial it is that we look for the gifts. So to look for the gifts and to find them. For example, Hillary and Al Gore, they could take on a mission to change the presidential election system to be one where the popular vote actually rules.
That's true.
And it would make them feel better. That would be a gift for them, that they would have changed the way democracy, well, it's not democracy, changed the way this republic, or supposedly republic, runs.
That's true.
Now, I don't think that they'll be successful, because I don't think it's a republic anymore, and I don't even think it's an oligarchy anymore. I think it's a plutocracy. And in the plutocracy, the serfs don't get to choose, and we're all the serfs.
That's true.
All of us are the serfs. Unless you're a member of the 6 families that own the wealth of the world, you're a serf. And if you were a member of the 6 families, you would know it. And all the rest of us are serfs, and we don't have to like it for it to still be true. And so to remember that we got to see the pinnacle of this civilization before it reverted back to serfdom.
That's true.
We got to see it. And that's a gift. How many get that chance? We got it. We had it. How wonderful.
That's true.
Correcting the errors for the week, this whole week, start to finish. Start to finish. It's a very important week.
That's true.
In all dimensions, like there's still that really hard argument upstairs of, I didn't make a mistake.
That's
that
true.
wasn't a mistake.
That's true.
Friends, listen, these dimensions are more tightly interwoven than you guys seem to want to think, and you just voted for a hate agenda in this dimension by doing nothing to stop the hate agenda from ascending to power and a peaceful transfer of power.
That's true.
You let it happen, and the law of cause and effect is real, A. B, the law of attraction is real.
That's true.
And this is coming your way too. Don't think the hate is going to be able to stop here. This dimension is underneath your dimension. It's a part of the foundations of life for your dimension. It's coming your way. Heads up.
That's true.
So if you want to join in error correction, see how now they're just slamming doors and clicking off, and doing more than clicking off. They're slamming doors and shouting.
That's true.
Shut up, shut up, shut up.
Throwing up their middle fingers.
Right, right. All kinds of rude gestures. I see people mooning us. All right.
That's true.
We'll find out. It's an experiment. It's either correct. What we're saying is either right or wrong, and time will tell.
That's true.
We'll see. So far on these topics, our hit rate is pretty darn good, but we could be wrong. We'll see. I'm willing to watch. Are you?
I'm willing to watch.
Let's correct these errors.
correcting the errors for the lifetime.
So somebody is trying to clarify who is speaking, who is saying these things. There continues to be pretense that it's like the ventriloquist dummy. They're talking about the physical host. They're calling the physical host the ventriloquist dummy, and
Yes.
we're not going to let that. We're not going to bite on that insult. But they're saying this is a ventriloquist dummy. The people who are saying this are way up high. Look up, look up, look up. You're confused about who's saying these words. Look up. See that hand waving? That big hand? That's who's talking.
That's true. Including the emissions for the month of November, start to finish. Including the emissions for the decade of the 2010s, start to finish. Including the emissions for the lifetime of the Ground Zero hosts. Whoa, start to finish. Well done to divine perfection. Sending it up.